I'm going to be real with you guys for a second. Let's just take a deep breath and think about what we all just witnessed. Because without exaggeration, this might be one of the worst episodes of SmackDown ever aired. And honestly, I don't even care about it enough to pretend otherwise. This review, it's going to be short, it's going to be raw, and it's going to be pure pain therapy. I'm not wasting time taking screenshots of the garbage they threw at us tonight. Nope, not happening. This is a low-effort edit because the show didn't deserve high effort. I'm just here to rant about this flaming trash can of an episode. The night kicks off with Dr. Libations, talking about absolutely nothing because, shocker, he has nothing to say. And then we have Cody Rhodes. Oh boy. Cody, crown jewel of mid-roads, easily one of the worst WWE champions of all time. If you disagree, you're either biased, delusional, or still watching through nostalgia goggles so thick you can't see reality anymore. Then comes Paul Heyman, again, because apparently copy-paste storytelling is the new creative direction. He interrupts Cody just like last week, delivers his prophecy speech for the 47th time. Randy's gonna turn on you. Spoiler alert, prophecy alert, whatever. You could call it a broken record alert at this point. And speaking of prophecies, I made one myself a year ago, that WWE's viewership would crash, the quality would nosedive, and triple fraud would run this company straight into the dirt. Guess what? The prophecy came true. Wrestling Worm predicted it. This SmackDown was lifeless. Dead. A creative zombie staggering toward its own grave. What exactly am I supposed to break down here? Cody and Randy walk out, stare into space, and stand there like NPCs waiting for someone to press X to interact. Paul Heyman tells them the same "you'll betray each other" line again. Riveting stuff, right? And let's not ignore the viewership numbers. A few weeks ago, SmackDown hit one of its lowest ratings ever, around 1.1 million. Raw on Netflix pulled a whopping 2.3 million views in a week. That's the lowest rated Raw on Netflix, a platform with hundreds of millions of subscribers. You could upload a cooking tutorial from my grandma and it'd get more engagement than this mess. Triple Fraud has officially turned WWE into a content farm powered by disappointment. Until this company delivers something that actually feels worth watching, I don't care what happens on these shows. Next weekend, I'll be traveling, but don't worry. Wrestling Worm will still drop SmackDown and Crown Jewel reviews, but expect more rants like this one because this is beyond embarrassing. I'm always going to be straight with you guys. When the product stinks, I'll say it. When viewership tanks, I'll call it out. And if you think a single decent match saves this disaster, you're missing the point. The problem isn't just bad writing. It's that the so-called faces of the company, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, are in segments that can't even hold the audience's attention long enough to beat a rerun of Peppa Pig. ESPN gave WrestlePalooza a C grade, and that's being generous. Let's be honest, it was a D at best, but ESPN's in bed with WWE, so they had to sugarcoat it. Bottom line, Roman Reigns is the last real superstar in professional wrestling. Period. Everyone else is playing make-believe in creative purgatory. And I'm going to keep saying that until this company stops embarrassing itself weekly on national television. WWE needs a miracle. But right now, all we've got is Triple Fraud, Cody Mid-Roads, and a viewership chart that looks like it just fell down an elevator shaft. Wrestling Worm, signing off, angry, exhausted, and still wondering why I wasted 2 hours watching this dumpster fire. All right, let's talk about this before my brain melts. I like MJF. I really do. The guy's got talent, charisma, and the mic skills of a demon. But let's stop pretending he's anywhere near Roman Reigns' level. He's just not there yet. Could he get there? Absolutely. If he was in WWE, maybe he would have already hit that level. But over in AEW, forget it. You're not reaching Roman's status in the land of 600,000 viewer Wednesday nights. And yeah, let's be honest, AEW's product this year has actually been better than WWE's overall. I'll give them that. But that still doesn't mean MJF can match Roman Reigns in star power. Roman's been doing this forever. The man's got history, dominance, presence, gravitas. MJF hasn't had that kind of longevity or spotlight yet. And he's stuck in a company that barely cracks 500,000 viewers on a good night, while WWE is barely hanging on to 1 million. This isn't exactly an era of booming wrestling, folks. Roman Reigns being the last superstar isn't an opinion. It's a fact. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins can be advertised for 15 weeks straight, dressed up in their sparkly jackets and do synchronized poses all they want. The numbers will still go down. Why? Because they're not stars. They're not leaders. They don't move the needle. You can't build your company's future around two guys who look like they just graduated from Create a Wrestler University. Roman Reigns carried WWE through the early 2020s. Don't even argue with me. From 2020 to early 2024, WWE was thriving, or at least surviving, because Roman was the face of it all. Sure, Drew McIntyre helped, Rollins had his moments, but let's be real. The tribal chief ran the show. Period. And now, if Roman doesn't win a world title in the next few months, this company is finished. I'm serious. It's life or death for WWE's star power. You cannot trust any of these other jobbers to carry the main event scene. They're mid-carders pretending to be main eventers. Seth Rollins, love him, but he's not that guy. Cody Rhodes, bro, you're Stardust with a budget. The gimmick glow-up doesn't change the facts. Let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. When Roman Reigns was advertised for SmackDown, the show pulled 2.3, even 2.5 million views on Fox. Now, you can barely scrape together 1.2 million. What happened? Oh, they changed networks. Stop it. Stop. Don't even try that excuse. Changing networks didn't suddenly make people allergic to good wrestling. Fox SmackDown was US only and still smoked Netflix Raw's global numbers in half the time. Last year, Roman and The Rock were boosting SmackDown so high it looked like the good old days. Now it's like watching an AI-generated wrestling show with human actors. Roman Reigns is the last superstar standing. Until WWE builds another real one, I don't want to hear another word about Cody Mid-Rhodes or Seth I wear funny pants Rollins. These two could headline 100 shows and the crowd would still chant, "We want Roman." I'm actually glad the viewership numbers are tanking. At least now we can all see the truth. You have one superstar left, and his name is Roman Reigns. Everyone else? Mid-carders and jobbers cosplaying as main eventers. Now let's move on to the next portion of this circus. After that embarrassing opener with Cody, Randy, and Heyman trying to act serious while the crowd is half asleep, we get Carmelo Hayes walking out only to eat a skull-crushing finale from The Miz. Because sure, why not? Let's just bury every rising talent in sight. Then we get Delistister Black versus Sami Zayn for the US Championship. Guess how that ended? Damian Priest interferes because apparently WWE can't book a clean finish to save their lives. Sami wins. Priest beats up Black and boom, they set up a rematch next week that absolutely no one on earth cares about. Then comes the contract signing. Oh boy, this one deserves a medal for most unwatchable segment of the year. Tiffany Stratton, and listen, before anyone clips this, let me be clear. I'm talking about the character, not the person. I'm sure Tiffany the human being is lovely, talented, and a hard worker, but Tiffany Stratton the WWE character? Trash. Absolute garbage. Corny promos, repetitive lines, botches galore, and the charisma of a wet paper bag. She's been champion for how long now, and not one engaging story, not one good feud. Every promo sounds like she's doing a TikTok skit about self-confidence. I respect you because no one cares. This whole push is a disaster. WWE somehow managed to make a potentially great talent look boring, robotic, and completely unrelatable. The division deserves better, and so do we. In short, this show was a train wreck. MJF isn't Roman, Cody's still Stardust, Rollins is mid, and Roman Reigns is the last man holding this empire together with his bare hands. Wrestling Worm signing off, mad, disappointed, and wondering if Triple Fraud even watches his own show. All right, listen, I love you guys, I appreciate you guys, and I'm proud of you for surviving this train wreck of a show. At this point, we might as well make a Wrestling Worm anthem. Forget Tiffy time. Let's drop a whole mixtape called The Stardust Blues. Because this episode was musical level comedy and not in a good way. So Tiffany Stratton walks out there and immediately embarrasses herself on the mic. I mean, it's getting sad now. Every promo she cuts is just the same broken record playing on repeat. She goes, "Stephanie, I respect you, I admire you, and I've been waiting to get my hands on you in the ring. Blah, blah, blah. Girl, please. We've heard this same bedtime story 40 times this year. No matter where they go, France, England, Mars, the Shadow Realm, it's apparently always Tiffy time. Yeah, well, guess what time it really is? It's time for you to lose that title and head back to NXT until someone figures out what to do with you. This whole thing is embarrassing. I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just tired. And Stephanie Bacquer, I can't even remember what she said because she had nothing to say. I think she said, "I respect you, Tiffany." Oh, wow, another "I respect you" speech. Fantastic. Can someone tell WWE this isn't a group therapy session? I don't care about respect. I care about storylines that make sense. Like, are these people fighting or are they on Love Island SmackDown edition? Cody and Seth acting like lifelong besties. Tiffany and Stephanie sharing emotional goodbyes before their matches. What is this? WWE friendship forever? No, you're supposed to be fighting for gold, not writing in each other's yearbooks. Then we get Kiana James and Julia coming out talking about, "I elevated Julia and I can elevate you too." Yeah, sure. You can't even elevate this segment off the floor. Kiana James is a jobber, Julia is basically invisible, and this promo was a cure for insomnia. And of course, the segment ends in chaos. Somebody hits somebody, somebody respects somebody, and boom, next week we've got a tag team match between people who hate each other. WE logic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make our rivals tag together before their big match. Genius. Pure genius. Now we move on to something that actually didn't make me want to throw my remote, Javon Evans. I like this kid. He's young, exciting, and actually entertaining. A rare species in modern WWE. The more screen time this guy gets, the better. He's only like 20 or 21, so there's still hope for the future. See, WWE, that's what progress looks like, not endless respect promos. Then, the main event. Cody, Codarius Royington Rhodes, and Randy Orton versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Yeah, totally sounds like a main event anyone asked for. Spoiler alert, nobody cared. I didn't even watch the full thing because by then I was emotionally drained and spiritually broken. Apparently Cody and Randy won. Whatever. Rollins came out at the end. Cody stood tall. Rollins ran away like a cartoon villain and they tried to sell it like, "Oh no, can Seth really beat Cody?" Bro, I don't care. Nobody cares. This product is cooked. SmackDown tonight gets a 0 out of 10. Not because it's the worst ever. But because it was so spectacularly boring that even calling it bad feels like a compliment. The show had no pulse, no logic, and no entertainment. Just endless talking, no direction, and an overdose of respect speeches. I'm telling you right now, Wrestling Worm is losing his mind over this show. Triple Fraud must be backstage doing creative decisions with a dartboard at this point. Next week's review? Probably another low edit rant because I'll be traveling, but don't worry. I'll still bring the fire because this company clearly isn't bringing any. Anyway, that's it. Let me know your thoughts on this absolute disaster down below. SmackDown tonight was an unseasoned casserole of mediocrity, and WWE should be ashamed. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, peace out and pray for this company. Wrestling Worm signing off before I lose another brain cell.